Tell me to slow down. Speed up. Parks on the air, following CQ 20 meters. Parks on the air, following CQ 20 meters. Good evening and welcome to the July 25th, 2020 York County Amateur Radio Society presentation night. As some of you know, we're dealing with COVID issues, and so we're streaming here from the clubhouse, and we want to say thank you for joining us. I'm Darcy Pach, K4DQP, been a member of YCARS for a number of years, as well as part of the Officer Corps, and want to say thank you for visiting us tonight live, and if you're watching this after the fact, thank you as well. Okay, tonight's presentation is about, it's titled 10 Reasons to Use QRZ, or QRZ.com. For some of you, you're probably already familiar with the website. For newer hams or people who are not familiar with the website, we'll talk about some of the great tools and features that you can use to help you get started not only in building a profile for your station, but logging and some other great features that it has. So full disclosure, YCARS is not in any way affiliated with QRZ.com. It is a paid. They do have the ability to have a paid membership, but we do not. We're not in any way affiliated with QRZ.com. A lot of this presentation here comes out of my personal experience with QRZ.com, as well as many of the operators, both in the club that I know and outside the club. And we're going to walk through the presentation. So let's get started. By the way, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Also, if you would like to know more information about YCARS, the York County Amateur Radio Society here in Rock Hill, South Carolina, or you have any questions that we can help you with, please feel free to contact us. You can visit our website at ycars.org. All right, but tonight we're going to talk about QRZ.com and 10 reasons why you should probably use it. Okay, so we'll first talk about what is QRZ and how can you use it. We'll talk a little bit about the basic and advanced features that the website offers for amateur radio operators, 10 reasons to use it, and then we'll follow up with any questions or discussion that we need to have via the chat. So hopefully everybody can hear me in the chat room. And we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so what is QRZ? QRZ is a website with a host of tools and resources for amateur radio operators, plain and simple. I believe it was started back in early 90s and had some beginnings with the CD-ROM discs that you would get either as part of a subscription or you'd buy, and it would have details about various operators, and you could put it in your computer and look up people and so forth. And the idea of taking it online was born out of this CD-ROM database that was offered. There are various levels of interaction that you can have with QRZ.com. You can have a totally free experience. If you just want to go to the website and we'll talk through what you can do with it, no need to pay. Totally free. Second is if you register. Registration does not mean that you pay. It just simply means that you've registered your name, call sign, and some of your information with QRZ.com. And that opens up a world of features for you, which I think you'll find useful. The third is a paid interaction. There are several features that QRZ.com offers for those that allow you to use if you pay. They have memberships starting at $29.95 a year, and they go all the way up to a lifetime membership of, I believe, right around $1,000. But for the most part, most of you will either want to be part of the totally free group or at least register. And I'd recommend, if you've never registered for QRZ, go online, register. They have security protocols and so forth. And just remember that just use your online safety experience and smarts about personal information and so forth. But let's keep going here. Okay. So QRZ also includes some great features such as news, forums, online swap meets, educational materials, databases, logging, the ability to log, certificates and awards, as well as resources and information from vendors and advertisements, of course, and much more. It does interact with certain logging programs to fill in data, which is a really great use. And I don't know why my slides are a little duplicated, but that's okay. So here's basically a photo in the first item, the 10th reason why you should use QRZ.com. You can keep up with amateur radio news. So unlike some websites, QRZ is kind of an aggregator. They'll pull in various news stories from around the web and things that are of interest and topics associated with amateur radio, everything from legal issues to new podcast episodes, interviews, and general news that you might find interesting. So if you go to QRZ.com, this is kind of the opening page here that you'll see, and all these news stories you could just click on, and they constantly change. One kind of interesting thing here is that you'll notice that each of these news stories, they allow comments. And so if you ever want a little bit of amusement, you can go read the comments associated with the story. Last week, I think, or for the past couple weeks, there's been a story about the Titanic and the salvage operations for the Marconi radio, and the comments were extremely varied from very serious to very comical. And I'd recommend that if you'd like to read the amateur radio news, hit the QRZ page and check out the news. You'll enjoy it. All right, 9th reason to use QRZ. It interfaces with logging programs. So many of the logging programs that are available, either commercially or even free, will interface with QRZ. You have to be a registered user, and you put your user credentials into your logging program. And when you look up, when you type in a call sign, for example, this is N3FJP, when you type in the call sign and hit tab or enter, you'll see down below here the detail associated with the K4YTZ, information. And that is a great way to have data filled in. And some of this other information comes directly from your radio, but this reaches out into the QRZ database and pulls back that information. So 9th reason, it interfaces with logging programs, and you can get a little bit more data about the contact you're making. Number 8 reason to use QRZ.com. Oh, and let me pause it here. Okay. 9th reason to use QRZ.com. I'm sorry, 8th reason. You can participate in forums. Some people really like to ask questions, ask technical questions, ask questions about gear, where to find something. If you're having a problem with some of your gear, or you have some technical questions that you might want answered, you can throw a question out here. You can start a a Q&A session asking other hams across the country and around the world, really, to answer those questions. And so there's so many different, this is just about a third of the topics and things that you can dig into and participate in the forum. If you're new to ham radio or you've got a very technical question about your radio, the forums are a great way to get into, and it looks like we may have lost the slide feed. Hopefully we're back on. The forums are a great way to get into and communicate with other hams and get your questions answered. All right, so next, outside of a forum, number 7 reason, you can buy, sell, or trade your gear. I know several members of the club here who have used this as part of their site or part of their to sell their gear, exchange gear, swap gear, buy gear. I think there are some certain policies and protocols that they like to use on this website. One of them you'll notice is that people often associate their call sign with the equipment that they're selling. And so, again, you want to use your best online safety practices and so forth, avoid scams, things like that. But you can really find some great gear here and ask questions about the gear. You can buy, sell, and trade your gear. Number 6 reason to use QRZ.com. You can practice for amateur radio tests. There is a whole host of resources available for registered users that they can, you can go online and download questions, ask questions. There's an interactive question testing. You can buy your books here. You can just basically, it's a great resource for upgrading from your tech to your general, or from your general to your extra. And again, great resource for you. Number 5, you can look up other amateur radio operator profiles. So one of the questions, or one of the issues that that people have when they're new to amateur radio is, is having a conversation with somebody. You don't even know what to talk about. You may call CQ, you may come back to somebody, and you're not really sure what you can talk about with them. Sure, you might talk about your antenna, your radio, your gear, but looking someone up is as simple as going to the website. If you look on this slide up in the top left, here you'll see it says enter query by call sign. You can simply type in somebody's call sign and their profile will come up. If they've built a nice profile, they'll have pictures, they'll have a little explanation. This is a guy I contacted last week. It gives you something to talk about with them. You can say, wow, I really like that picture. I really like that picture of your shack, or wow, that's an interesting car. Or, tell me more about your experience doing this. This is a great conversation piece that a lot of people, I didn't even know about this when I became an operator until later. This is something I really wish I'd known about, is the ability to go look up somebody's profile. You can see their address. Once you register, you can actually see their email. If you mouse over, you can see their email. You can send them a personal email. It's a great way to learn about other hams and what they're doing, as well as the person you're talking with. And so this is a great resource, and I'll give you a little anecdote here. My daughter is working with me on the radio, and when she's working the radio with me, we'll often pull up the call sign of the person who she's talking with, so she has something to converse with about with this person. And she'll make the comment, oh, I really like that, your dog. And that just starts the conversation. And then it's very natural. It's like you're having a conversation with somebody rather than just talking about your radio or your gear or your antenna. And that's the number 5 reason to use QRZ, is you can really look up and learn a little bit about the people you're talking with. Number 4 reason, you create your own QRZ profile. So similarly, where you're looking people up, they want to look you up. And this is a great way to share information about what you're doing online and your profile. And I have a little example here. I'm going to switch over to my other website. So again, this is the QRZ page. I'm a registered user. I've registered, I've logged in. I'm just going to go pull up my QRZ page just for fun. So I'll click here. We'll look at my, or I could have typed it in here. But here's my QRZ page. I've got a copy of my QSL card here that is my main picture. I show that, I have that, I share that. This is my QRZ, my QSO card that I send out. But I've edited this, and for some reason it looks like it's not quite loaded all the way. But here, I don't know what's going on with the picture, but here I have a couple pictures of my kids. I have some pictures of me, my old QSL card, some club activities I'm in, some other interesting things that I've gotten into, the weather, satellites, and so forth. There's some pictures of NJ4Z and my brother working field day, as well as W3SPC, some of the solar box that I worked on, and some other interests that I've had over the years, maybe an award or two, and maybe my latest project, my NVIS antenna. This gives somebody a wealth of information. They can just ask me any questions, and that just naturally starts a conversation about any one of these photos and topics, and just helps me with having a nice fluid conversation online. All right, so let's get back to the presentation. So creating your own profile gives somebody else confidence to have that conversation with you, and I think that's a really important thing. It's also kind of a neat way to track what you're doing. So I've taken a few pictures, I put them on there, and I update my QRZ page. I know some other people do. And what it does is kind of a nice way to track what you're doing and look back over the years and see what you've been doing. And you can tell your friends, hey, go to my QRZ page. I just posted pictures of the new antenna I built. It's a great way to share that information. Number 3, log your contacts. So this is probably one of the most powerful uses of QRZ, is that it actually will keep a log of your contacts. There's a couple ways to do it. There's one more real-time way to log a contact. You don't even need a logging program. And let me make sure I can do this. I'll come over here, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to type in NJ4Z. He's our president of our club. We're going to pull up his website or his profile, and here it is. And oh, there's the YCAR's video. You can watch that. But if you look through, he's got nice pictures. He's got a beautiful QRZ page and the envy of a lot of people. And pictures of his radio and so forth. And you can put as much or as little. Did we lose the stream?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Steve's going to fix that for us. Do I need to go back?
No.
Okay. All right. So I've got NJ4Z's page up here. I just typed it in the search. Now, if I want to log a contact with NJ4Z, I don't even have to have a logging program. I can do this right from here. I'm going to click log a new contact with NJ4Z. And what comes up is the time, the date, the band I'm in. I can change all these things, and I can actually log a program. I can type in the information and hit save, and it will save it to my log, and it will also send him a request to confirm that contact. So that's the first way to use QRZ as a logging program. You don't even need a logging program on your computer. You can simply do it all online, which is pretty good. The other thing you can do is, if you have a logging program on your computer, you can upload your log to QRZ through the ADIF file. Through some of the more advanced or premium features, you can also send and receive your log through Logbook of the World. So I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but it is a great way to keep your log. And there's a couple ways of updating it. But personally, I just upload a file, an ADF file. And I'll show you how to do that real quick. You just would go to your logbook here, and you would go to settings. And I'll show you how simple this is. You just hit settings, and what you're going to do is you're going to say import an ADIF file into your log, and it will ask you, where is that file located on your computer? Point to it, hit import, and you're done. So that's how easy it is, and that's probably one of the most powerful uses of QRZ. And I'll just kind of let you look at my logbook here. You can see that it completes the log with a lot of information, the other call sign, the date, the time, the mode, a little bit of the information from the QSO, and whether or not they've confirmed, which similar to Logbook of the World, users will submit their logs, and when your log and their log match, you get this star here, and that's a confirmed QSO. It also tells you here, this is my new call sign, K4DQP, how many QSOs I've logged in Logbook of the World, how many have confirmed, which means how many have matched, and then how many different countries I've gotten. You can also sort your log, you can download your log, you can do all kinds of things with the data itself. But for the most part, it's just a great logging program. And it's kind of fun to watch other people confirm, and you can see what countries you worked and so forth. So that's probably the number 3 reason here. That is the, let's go back here. That's the number 3 reason to use QRZ is you can log your contacts both online, real time, and or upload your files. Okay, now we get to the fun part. And the fun part is tracking your awards progress. So QRZ, similarly to Logbook of the World, offers awards that you can use. You don't have to buy them. There's no obligation. It simply tracks your contacts, tracks who you've confirmed with, and then displays various kinds of various awards on the website. So in this slide here, you can see that these are my CW contacts. I've started doing CW since COVID. And the green are contacts that have confirmed with me in various states. The yellow are where I have submitted a contact in the log, but they have not confirmed yet. And then the red is where I have not confirmed any or I haven't submitted any contacts for. Now, there's a lot of different awards that QRZ offers, and we jokingly call that the wall of arrogance. Here, if you want to build your wall of arrogance in amateur radio, you can certainly take a look at the QRZ awards. If you go to, let's go to NJ4Z, because again, he's got a lot of awards and so forth. These banners up here, you can see, automatically sort of come through as he's logging his contacts. It's calculating and basically putting these badges up on his website automatically. So you could click on any one of those, and I'm not sure what would happen, so I'm going to click on mine. You could at any one time click and look at the various awards that they offer, and let's just go to let's go to the Master of Europe. Let's just look at that. Okay. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's not where I wanted to go. Okay, let's go to I'm sorry. Click Analyze. All right. So what you see is it's now running through your log and looking for confirmed contacts. And I should mention that in QRZ you can have multiple logbooks as well. So I'm going to go to my new call sign. Actually, I'm going to go to my old call sign. It's more impressive. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to ask it to take a look at my KK4ONT, my old call sign, look at the logbook and analyze it against the Master of Communication Award in Europe. Okay? And I'm going to look at it, and here you can zoom in and see all the countries that I've confirmed with, all the locations, and here are all the entities in which comprise that Master of Europe. And there's some level, you have to work 60 out of 67 entities. I'm 90% there. If I was going to do, and I only want to look at my phone contacts and see how I'm doing on that award, not so well. But if I do digital, we'll see. Oh yeah, much better, much better. So you can look and see the kind of endorsements that you can get on your awards and tracking your progress. Of course, CW probably shouldn't have any, right? Like I said, there's many different awards here. Oh, look, I've got all 50 states in mixed mode here. We'll go to phone, we'll look at it, and I've got 46 out of 50 states on phone. And we'll do digital, we'll look and see. Oh, got every state on digital. So that's a nice way that you can kind of track your progress in these various awards that you might be after. All right, let's get back to the presentation. So number 2, track your awards progress. It's a great way to do that. Again, no obligation, but it's kind of neat to see the different entities that you've contacted and who's confirmed and who hasn't. And you might enjoy tracking your progress. All right, number 1 reason to use QRZ. Of course, the wall of arrogance, building the wall of arrogance, purchasing awards for your shack for, I want to say about $30, maybe not quite that much. You can get a really nice certificate. Not sure if that's framed. I've never bought one. I know people that have. But you can select these different awards and get your call sign and build up your certificates on your wall. And it just helps not only to set a goal for yourself as an operator, but it also communicates, hey, look at all the work you've done. I'm being told that they're about $16.99 each. Maybe the nicer wooden plaques are $30. But anyway, the awards are really for you. They're for you as an operator. You might want to share them with your family, put them in your shack, but it really helps us have a goal as an operator, as a new operator. Maybe you want to get all 50 states. Maybe you want to get all 50 states on digital. Maybe you want to get all 50 states on CW. Whatever that is. Maybe you want to get all the continents. This tool, the QRZ tool, helps you do that. And it's a really amazing website that has a lot of tools and a lot of resources. Looks like we got an extra few minutes. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat or any comments in your experience, but I want to show you one thing real quick to help you get started. If you are a Microsoft Word user, you can certainly build your online profile on QRZ. I'm going to show you that real quick. So once you've logged in here and you've gotten your website or your call sign confirmed and so forth, and you want to build your page, come over here to the drop down to the edit your call sign. Okay. And what it's going to do is going to open up this menu right here. This is probably the first thing you want to do when you log into QRZ. You get your call sign set up, you get your access set up, your passwords, all that. Come over here and just build your little profile. Put one picture of yourself, put a picture of your station, say where you're from, whatever. Keep it simple if you like. You can get as elaborate as you want. As you saw in John's website, he's got a video attached. There's all kinds of banners and other things if you want to get real complicated. But basically, if you know how to use Microsoft Word and you can edit and you can type and hit save button, you can build your profile. But basically, when you come over here to edit your web page or your page, there's all kinds of menu options here that you might want to look at. And so you'll go through, and the easiest one is, you want to update your call sign data, your name, address, all that information. Add or edit your biography, and this is where you would go to start building your profile. Okay. So you click there, and up comes a Word-looking screen with basically a lot of the same controls for text and colors and things like that. And you just start typing away, and guess what? At the bottom, you hit save, and that's it. It's that simple. Anybody can build one of these. Check the chat. Okay, I'll check the chat. Okay, so that's how you do it. Let me jump to the chat real quick, and I want to mention one thing about photos and uploading here on this. Okay, so that's right. So if you are so inclined, there are resources on here, and I believe you have to be a paid subscriber, but they will actually help you build your page. I don't know if they'll actually build it for you. Might be some simpler tools, but they will help you design and create more of a professional look. And I think that's right. They'll also, you can also print labels from your contacts and your profile page. So if you're a person who sends out physical cards, you can actually print the labels, contact information, and so forth from the QRZ page. Now that's a little bit more advanced than probably some people would be interested in, but you can certainly do it. And these are some of the more advanced features, not necessarily covering those tonight, but certainly something you can look into. Will QRZ send out your confirmation cards to the contacts that you have made? I don't believe so. I think that's your responsibility. But as one person mentioned, you can print your labels from here. No other questions at this time. So let me mention this one thing about photographs here for a second. It is a little. I'll say there's just one more step in preparing a photograph to put on your QRZ page, and that is that you have to upload the photograph first and then add it to your QRZ page. So let's say I want to go here to my QRZ page, I want to edit this, and I want to add a photograph or add an image. It's going to ask me what the location is for this photograph. And I'm simply going to browse the server, and these are the photographs that I've uploaded, which you can also upload photos from your computer, upload them to QRZ, and then you upload or you move them over to your website. So hopefully that's not too confusing, but basically you first have to kind of save it to QRZ, save the photo, and then you can paste it directly into your profile. So one more step there to do. Let's go back to the edit menu here and just take a look, make sure. Let's take a look and see if there's anything else here. I'm not going to go through any of these other things, but that basically building your biography is where you I think you want to start. That's kind of the simplest thing outside of updating your basic call sign and information. Let's go to Steve's website here, and you can see Steve's got a picture of him and his wife. He's got lots of personal information here. Oh, there's a picture of him working CW as a kid, and it's kind of neat, you know. I'm not sure why these aren't loading, but this isn't QRZ's fault. This isn't Steve's fault. This is the network side. One interesting thing you can do too is you can actually look at his logbook. You can see who he's been contacting, so that's kind of cool. You can see Steve likes to work CW quite a bit. You can also check out his awards and see his endorsements on those awards and so forth. If I mouse over this, I can check out Steve's email. If I, hopefully it won't, well, we just exposed your email to the world there, but that's okay, Steve, sorry about that. And that being said, web contacts, let's see what somebody's asking about web contacts. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe these are people who he's looked up. I'm not really sure what that is. Oh, a simple visitor log to show hams who visit the page can sign their listing and say a quick hello, if you want to do that. So, that being said, let's go to W1AW. Here's the ARRL main headquarters club call sign, and you can read a little bit about what they're doing there and so forth. Okay, so there are 10 reasons why you should jump on QRZ website, register, start using some of the features. Number one recommendation though is go build your profile, go register, build your profile, start using it. It's free, unless you want to be a paid subscriber, which you're not, no obligation to do that, but it's a great resource for new hams and old hams alike. So that's the end of the presentation. I'm going to quickly check the chat room, make sure there's any comments or questions here. Let's see here. Thank you very much, Billy. Appreciate that. I will say that I want to thank you for coming to the YCAR's presentation meeting tonight. Thank you for checking out the video. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, or you'd like to know more information about becoming a member of YCAR's, please visit our website at www.ycars.org. And there you can click and send us an email. We are a very active club here in York County, South Carolina, and we'd love to have you join us. We'd also like to invite you to come back and visit any of our presentations during any of our meetings on Thursday nights. That being said, I'll say 7-3 for now. This is K4DQP. Good night.
Parks on the air calling CQ 20 meters.